It's too hard. So yeah, keeping cheery. Well, quite often that none but death could separate us. So again, as you can see in the translation, he decided to kind of stress it out and to make it separate, because some of the bits are quite long. But here we just have this one phrase because it's really important. It's like central. Where was it here? Blithe jebero förloft wit beotedan fet unkne jedelde nemne dev ana. With Alice. So we look at it. Blithe, like blithe, like cheerful, blissful, bliss. Jebero full of, that's obvious, very often, full of. With, again, that's a good word, which is we two of us. And again, in that beat, it's we are together, we are one person, not two. Beotedan fet ne jedelde, again, that no one as like us two of us. Same as in lines like 13 as that ne jedelde as no one will separate nemne dev ana ana with Alice dev, obviously death, ana I guess only, with anything else, death one, nothing else, anything else, not anything else. Separate, that was somewhere around line 11. What's the word separate? Jedelde. Todelden. So I guess it's the same word in line 13. Todelden to separate us. I guess that must be it. And here, ne jedelde. So basically it's the same words, but inversed, with ne in between. But now we know that they have already come together as and separation. Todelden in line 13, and we thought that ne jedelde. Only death could separate us. Maybe that was death. Maybe that's all true, and she died because he killed her to be separated from her. Apparently, because if they vowed, then that's what they had to keep, and if he vowed that only death will separate them, then he had to kill her to introduce death to make the separation. At the same time, you can say, oh, keeping cheery is nice. So in the middle of that sorrow and misery, she remembers something happy and cheerful. But even that happy and cheerful is now sinister. We vowed quite often that none but death could separate us. Again, yeah, it's a good question why they would do it often. Because if you really mean what you say, then you only do it once. If you need to renew it, then you're not sure. You need to repeat it to refresh it. Then maybe it was not as deep as they like to believe. If that was deep, then how could he be persuaded so easily? So none but death could separate us. And again, when somebody says, oh no, none but death can separate us, you can think that, oh well, it's just sentimental. It doesn't mean anything, really. But here it does mean every word.
Yeah, and it probably was because these words that are now nearly meaningless were used to mean exactly what they do mean. Probably it's like another story of ancient peace treaties, which were, for example, concluded for the period of, let's say, 15 years, no war within 15 years' time, and then both parties to the treaty kept the promise, and then on the 16th year they could start the war. So it was probably just natural thing.
Because a word is important, a word is big, and today we kind of lose it because people are stupid. They think, oh well, I can say what I like and I don't have to keep it. Because I'll be stupid to keep a word when it's just a word. But a word is not just a word. A word is powerful. A word is a spell. A word is magic. There's a good theory which goes like, why do we have the idea of spells? Why do we have the idea of keeping your word? Why do we have the idea of word being significant? And, well, to put it in, again, Christian way, it doesn't have to be Christian, but it's just a context which we understand. Back at the paradise, words did have meaning. A word was a thing rather than just a sound wave. Well, sound wave is important. Sound waves can affect reality. So a word is a kind of a sound wave, so a word affects reality at least in that way. And we do know that different sounds make people react differently. There were some experiments with that. But the idea is that back in the world of power, so if you're a Christian then you say paradise, if you're not Christian then you call it something else, but in the world of power, a word is more than just a word is a logos, a word is active. And when we lost that word, we lost that power, but we still have the memory of it. So the power is not there, but the memory somewhere remains. And so we have the idea of words being really important and powerful. And in a sense, words are powerful, because if we sit at the table and I say, could you pass me salt, please? Then you pass me salt as a direct result of my word. So in that sense, my word is a spell. So in Harry Potter, you say Axel salt, and it flies to you. But could you please pass me the thing? Is a spell as well. It's just we don't think about it as a spell, but it works. Mainly. So a word is important. And again, why would they have to repeat it? It's a very good question. Because it always depends on how you look at it. If you look at it in a profane way, then, oh well, it's just a figure of speech. If you look at it in a shamanic way, in a serious way, when you know that each word is significant, then this two lines become really serious and big. At the same time, keeping cheery, being blessed, blissful, bliss. That's how they did it. So again, we in one phrase, we unite two opposite ideas. Maybe they're not really opposite, but they might be. The idea of death, separation, and idea of, oh dear, just the cat wants to go out and have some air. So the idea of death and separation and being cheerful or blessed, happy. So again, it's the same kind of flow which flows through the poem between love and struggle, or love and misery, or here being blithe, cheery and dead and separated. That soon changed. Any more comments on that little bit?
No, not from me.
Alexandra?
Not now.
Okay. So it's really good to have a word which means we too. It's really nice. We too, really personal, really private in some ways. Right, that soon changed it. Where was it? Where was it? Det Anna overstelles. Eftis fed ongeworfen. And again, if you look at that line, we have owicht, which is like anything, and ongeworfen here in the end, which must be changed. Got changed. So things change. Things change. Is nu geworden, and again, ongeworfen and nu geworden. Geworden is become or turn or to be, seen, agree. And that is the next bit, which is the opposite. But here in the text, in the original text, they come one after another, and they're really, really similar. You look at it, owicht turns into ongeworfen, things turn to change it, apparently, and then that turns again into geworden, turn, change, become, agreed. It's now as if it had never been. Is nu geworden. Zwa hit no were. Friendship unker. Our friendship. So it's now became swa as hit no were. I guess as if it no were not. Friendship unker. I guess you can recognize the two words. Friendship, unker, of us too. As if it never was. Our friendship. So again, here she talks about husband, and she talks about a husband being a friend. And not just a master to follow, but first of all, her husband is a friend, and if she goes after him, it's because she loves him and she cares about him, and not because she is ordered to follow him. And what she gets in return is betrayal, something really harsh. Friendship onker shall ich vergene minus vele leo van verre drogen. I must far near and do the feuding of my dearly beloved. Shall is like shall, must. Ich vergene, far and near. Minus vele leo van. So again we have the word leo van as before. Beloved. Van. And it's a word which should be really musical, fan. But in that context it's heartbreaking, because the word which should be gentle and melodical, it's what is killing her, what is hurting her. Ferte, like here, feuding, which is basically the word which it became like bitter argument, anger. Dreogan is again performance or experience. Excuse me. Cats. Enduring, experiencing. So we had a word for experience in the beginning, and in the beginning it was something seethe, which is like journey, silver seethe, music again, silver seethe. But here it's different. Here it's closer to dread, dreadful, dreogan. So now she must endure this basically betrayal. Feleleofan is she still loves him because she says Feleleofan, my beloved, my love. She loves him, but she needs to endure what he does to her. Far and near. How is it far and near?
Everywhere.
Mm-hmm. So we had this like news of the eldest, new and old. Now we have far and near. Again, is it a contradiction? Is it not?
Well, it sounds like a figure of speech.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, again, if we continue to think that people back at that time used to take words seriously,
mm-hmm.
it probably means exactly what it says.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the context, it just I'm trying to, in the context, it just says exactly what it's supposed to say. Near and far, everywhere, no matter what,
Mm-hmm.
things like
Or
that.
maybe far and near. Far is like he is far away, and he is ordering from far away, and there are people around him. Just in distance, but near because it's more than just killing her or sending her away. It's personal. It's inside her. It's not just a broken word, trust. It's a broken heart as well. So if it was just someone else who did it, that would be far. But it's inside her heart as well. Not only the deed, but also the meaning, the implication. Far and near. And he is cruel in that way. And she doesn't fight. She doesn't say, oh, he's so awful, I have to do something about him. But she says, no, I just need to be patient, to endure it, because I still love him. So I don't want him hurt yet. So all she can do is just to bear with him and maybe hope that he will come to senses, maybe. And then again we have the words like Feleleofan, which is beloved, which is really sweet. And the next word is Ferde. A bitter argument, feuding, which again, they're kind of close, at the same time they're opposite. Yeah? Anything else?
No.
Mm-hmm. So now it's as if our friendship has never existed, and he's not nice to me. Okay. My husband ordered me anchored in a woody grove under an oak tree within this earthen cave. Hecht meg mon unian on woede berwe onder aaktrail in van earth schreffe. Phew. What a horrible word. Earth schreffe. Is it the same word as he ordered? Line 15. Hecht meg mon. So we have the same construction more or less. In line 15, het meg lavort. My Lord ordered me. And here hecht meg mon, my man. So she doesn't say my Lord now, because now he's not her Lord, just mon, man, like we had the word before, like monen funde, found the man, or somewhere else. This man, yeah. That man ordered me. Union woede berwe. Again, we feel the sound, we feel the music. So before we had like mo, mo, and now we have woo and woo. Quite heavy woede berwe, wooden something, woody grove, woeda, union woede, under, aktrail. And some earth schreffe in this earthen cave. So what is happening here? What is happening here? Anchored in a woody grove under an oak tree within this earthen cave. What does it sound like to you? Alexander, do you help us? When somebody says, now I'm in a woody grove, under an oak tree, in an earthen cave.
Like an earthen grave, and cave and grave rhyme in a very heavy way in today's English.
Yeah, so we
somewhere
have...
there, I'm anchored there, I can't live it. Again, anchored, not necessarily physically, although it might be true physically also. I can't live it. I don't like the place. I feel like it's dark because it's woody. It's too big because oak trees are often quite big and might seem overwhelming and sort of I'm more or less buried there. Urban, ancient is the earth hole, and the word earth just presses me into the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have, my husband ordered me, ordered to me, or ordered that I was. He sent some people to see to it, or did he tell me to do it? In other words, did he send some assassins, or did he just tell her to kill herself, which she did? Who knows? Who knows? Ordered me anchored. So we have this, I don't know if it's anchored in the original, but here in the poem we have the man connected with the sea. So my Lord departed over the tossing of waves, and now he orders me anchored. So we think in like nautical terms here. Again, we have the idea of motion of the sea, which again is a strange territory. And we have the idea of being anchored, unable to move, in a woody grove. So we had the grove before in the translation, but it was like specifically a residence in a pagan shrine in the original. So we already know the place she talks about. So here we have the woody grove, a big place. Then we zoom in, we see an oak tree. Then again, oak trees are really important, really strong, magical trees. Well, all trees are magical, but some are more magical. Oak trees, which are strong and big and important. Under an oak tree, in this earthen cave. So could it be that she is just in a real cave, or can it be that the earthen cave is really just a grave under the oak?
Well, it looks like a grave.
Mm-hmm. So it could be either grave or some kind of, again, initiation. If it's a riddle, then maybe beneath talking about this love story, maybe it also describes some kind of initiation, because we have a place of initiation, which is this sacred forest. We have a tree of power, a special tree, the oak tree. Then again, it doesn't have to be a real oak tree. Again, it may be some kind of representation of that force of the oak tree, maybe. And inside the earthen cave, again, that was often a part of initiations, precisely because it's supposed to mean a grave. So it's like you die and then you're reborn in some new quality, say. So it might be it. Caves are, again, important. What was it here? Earthen something. Schrefe. That's some horrible word anyway. In the earthen cave. Ancient is the earth hole, I'm entirely longing. Old is fes earthcelle. Elm of long dot. Old is like old, ancient, which we had in the beginning. News of the eldest is this is fes earthcelle, earth hole. So we do have the word earth repeating, like you say, we get really close to earth. We have the power of the wood, ruda, runium, actreo, and we have the power of earth. And again, it's something that is connecting. The tree is connecting the underworld, the middle world, the upper world. Yeah, a tree exists in 3 different realities. It's like a bridge, and the roots are beneath the ground, and now we go there to the roots, to the earthen celle or schrefe, hole or cave. And again we have Eld is, and then Ilh, Ilm of long dot, what is it? Entirely longing. Or why? How is she longing? In what sense is she longing? Why? Then again, the place is old, again, meaning it's a place of power, which connects through time. Mm-hmm. So why is she longing?
And what is she longing for? Mm-hmm. Is she longing for a sort of a reunion with her husband? Is she longing to see him again, to be with him again? Is she longing to die, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
And, well, somewhere nearly close to the ground, nearly inside this earthen cave,
mm-hmm.
She might be thinking of death. She might be longing for death.
Mm-hmm. If she's not dead yet. So
If
in
she's not
some
guilty.
sense, he's done her a favor. In some sense, he's done her a favor because whether he killed her or sent her to this place, maybe he said, like, now you're the priestess of this place, you can't leave it here, can't ever leave it here. Either way, he connected her with the spirits. That's what he did. He gave her the power of spirits. She became a part of the place. She became the same as the place. Yeah? So now she's a part of this ancient earth hall. It was there before her, now she's a part of it. And I'm entirely longing, maybe that includes that power which is a part of now, which is also longing for some purpose, maybe. So my husband, in the beginning, it may seem that my husband, my lord, was the one who went to the realm of the spirits, departed over the waves into these lands. But maybe his was just a journey, just a normal journey, and her was a real journey to the spirits. Maybe that's how it's turning.
Yeah.
So we have two parts, two ways of looking at it. So sometimes a journey is just a profane journey if you don't know what to do with it, how to take it. Or maybe that was a special journey, and that's why he became so different after he went to a distant land, different land. It made him different, and then he was happy to kill his wife, or to get rid of his wife. Maybe his journey went somewhere, let's say, wrong. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Dark as valleys, the mountains so lofty, bitterest hovels overgrown with thorns, shelters without joy. Okay. Sindon denna dimme, duna upp här. Again, we just listen to the sounds. The sounds are amazing. Sindon denna dimme, duna upp här. Bittre burgtonas, brerum bevaxne, which winna less. Again, I guess dimme must be dark, but it's a guess. Just a guess. Duna must be mountains like dune. Up here, up. But again, I guess. Bitre is easy, because apparently that's bitter. Burgtunas, hovels in the translation, but if you look at the page, then it says that Burgtunas are fortified enclosures. So
Yeah.
it's not just some place out there, but it's a special
Another
place
translation
again.
offers the translation, the strongholds.
Yeah, could be like strongholds. So again, what is this place? Why do they need fortified enclosures or whole strong places?
It looks like a military camp.
It does.
They are waging war against someone.
Well,
Against.
if he's a tribesman and it's like she's seeking his followers, and then there's somebody who is whispering evil ideas into his ears, then obviously there's some kind of war going on. So on one hand, it's a sacred place. At the same time, there are those fortified places. So it's a bit a strange mixture in some way. Brerum bevaxne, which winna less. Shelters without joy. Which is apparently shelters. Winna, less. Less, we know less, without, less. Winna is a very good word. Winna means joy. That word has different forms. Sometimes it's win or winne or winna, like in Diana Wynne Jones, the writer, winne. And it's one of the runes. In fact, winna is a rune which is not used here. A letter, rune, letter. It's a bit like a thorn, that a letter, but more like a drop kind of thing. So in the transcripts, usually they just put W in its place because you read it as W, and if you leave it, then it's really confusing because it looks a lot like P. So win is on one hand it's a word, it's joy. At the same time, it's a symbol. Yeah. And we talk about magic and sacred places. And it means joy, happiness. Winna less in this place without winna, without joy. And we had the word winne before in somewhere 10th line. Yeah, winne less, vrecha, friendless or husbandless. Yeah, so winne as in friend or husband is somehow, at least in this poem, somehow connected with winna, like joy. Yeah, if you look at line 10, winne less, and this line here, winna less. Yeah, so they're really close, like a friend and joy, or husband and joy, happiness. They should be the same. But in this poem, they go kind of different ways a little bit. And both times in line 10 and here, it's without winne and without winna. Again, it just, I guess it shows how exactly important that man is for her husband. Her winna, her husband, her friend, is all her worldly winna, joy. So there cannot be joy or winna without the partner, without winne, I would say. And maybe it's some kind of, again, a hint about the letter or rune, symbol, win, maybe. So winna less, without joy. So what do we have here? First we could just see the little grove and the single tree, the oak tree, and the grave, basically the cave beneath it. So just a narrow view. And now when she's there, when she becomes a part of this place, not before, now when she becomes a part of this place, her eye can see the whole landscape, the whole reality around it, not just this little place. Yeah, so she kind of emanates around the place because now she's a part of it. And obviously, whenever we describe a place, we also describe the person, obviously. So dark are the valleys, the mountains so lofty. So we have darkness, we have heaviness, but at the same time we have valleys and mountains. Yeah, it's not flat, it's different. The same as her emotions are not flat, they're different, ups and downs, and lots of darkness inside her, because she's not really happy. Bitter, these hovels or strongholds. So we have darkness and we have bitterness, overgrown with thorns. Again, if you have thorns in your self-scape, usually that means that you're not happy. not really happy. And maybe thorns is also a little hint, because we know that this letter th is called a thorn. Again, I would not really know. Where was it? Somewhere. Oh, winnerless, brrum bewerksne. So what is the name? What is the name of the runes? Runic. Let's say runic. But I think it just says it's called a thorn. It's not like translated properly. But if it's the same word, then it would be really interesting, because that would mean that two words which at the same time mean like runes and symbols. Thorn, no, it's just thorn, like thorn. So it's a bit different. Thors, thorn. Maybe could be kind of a secret riddle. Maybe there are more runes hidden in it which we don't know. Thurs, the rune Th is called Thurs, Old Norse Thurs meaning giant. In the Icelandic and Norwegian rune poems. In Anglo-Saxon rune poem it's called Thorn. Whence the name of letter Th derived. The rune is something related to giants. So it's a thorn in Anglo-Saxon culture, which we have here, basically. What does it mean? Old Norwegian. That rune causes anguish to women. Misfortune makes few men cheerful. This rune is torture of women, and cliff dweller and husband of a giantess, or Saturn's something. Nobody knows what it means. The thorn is exceedingly sharp and an evil thing for any thane. Nobody knows what it is, but it's something like servant. Any servant to touch, and commonly severe on all who sit among them. Well, not surprisingly. So really interesting if we consider. I'm not saying that it is so, but if we just go along with the translation and make a really wild guess. I can hear myself. Hello, Margot. Oh. Okay. Then we have the two runes with the opposite meaning. Again, a thorn, which is torture of women, anguish to women, and winna, which is happiness and joy and happiness. Again, amazing. Again, opposite and coming together. And maybe it really is some kind of secret message to those who know, and if you know, then you can kind of pick it up and make your own kind of a spell or something. Maybe. Win. Man. Day. Oak tree is another rune. Day is a rune, and Ak, oak tree, is a rune too. Interesting. So what is oak tree? Let's have a look, because she sits under the oak tree. And that's another rune again. And that rune is like letter A, and it's, nobody knows I don't know, it's mouth. It's not really, Wikipedia is not really helpful. Maybe I can see it somewhere else. Unless you know. Do you know the meaning of the rune? Do you know the meaning of the rune Ansus, a rune? I think I might have it somewhere here. What does it look like? Okay, let me see. It looks like something silly. Ace. And what does it mean? So ace. So that's like creative power and logos and spirit, apparently. Interesting. So oak is like creative power, and she sits under it. Interesting. So we actually have some names of the runes in the poem. Isn't it amazing? I never knew till now. It's good. Good. Do we have any other things here? Let's see. Let's go through. So what runes do we have according to Wikipedia? Fel, which is cattle. We don't have any cattle in here. Ur, which is something kind of oaks. We don't have any of it. Thorn, we have thorns. Os, which is mouth. And riding torch, gift. Win, we have win, joy. Hail, need, ice. We don't have ice. Year, yew tree, something that nobody knows what. Elk, sun, something that nobody knows what. Birch tree, steed, man, lake, something nobody knows what. Homeland, Ithel, day, oak tree, ash tree, something nobody knows what. Something nobody knows what, and something nobody knows what. Ah, interesting. So of these runes, we do have thorn, we do have joy, and we do have oak tree and day. I don't know if day is a day or a rune like day, but she keeps saying day. I may sit along some long day, and that's after she talks about oak tree. Ah, interesting. So day, and that's precisely how it says day. It's butterfly shaped. It's like a little butterfly. It's happiness to rich and poor, and service to all, because the day is the glorious light of the Creator. Also, what does it say here? It's like, since it's a butterfly, so it's like a transformation. A day is like transformation into something more beautiful, or it can be again a transgression to another reality, like from a worm to a butterfly. Interesting. I never knew. Thank you for your help. You're amazing. You're amazing, guys. I would never know it without you. So maybe really it's a secret message of how to build your runic spell. Could be, could well be. Who knows? Phew. So winnerless. Comments?
Oh no.
Alexander?
I just feel like the more we look at this poem, the more double meanings and symbolism have. And I'm just wondering how much would we find if we would spend a little bit more time in Google and, just trying to identify each detail as plant or something like that. Because I just thought that for some reason at some point it started to look like an instruction. Because it is a story. She tells the story from her point of view about her husband, about the betrayal, but it does seem like an instruction to witch or to someone who is willing to repeat what she has done.
Exactly.
So now, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Ah, well, it does say it's a riddle, so you never know. I might be. It does look like that to me, certainly. Phew. Oh, so many times here, the disappearance of my husband seized me with a stewing. Again, it's a little bit like when you read alchemical descriptions and they never say like gold, silver, or they say something like lion and man and king and queen, flower, something. So each element and each action has a code name. And if you read it, it's like, oh, the queen kissed a flower and the bird came by. And you're like, well, what is it? But if you really know, then it's like, you need to do that with that metal and then you add a little bit of this thing into it. Because a queen is something, a kiss is something, a flower is something, a bird is something. So it might be that it's the same here. Who knows? It is really mysterious in many ways, and we don't even understand it properly, the original thing. We just blowing on the surface of a deep ocean. But it's fun. Phew, so many times here, the disappearance of my husband seizes me with a stewing, with like worry. Again, it may mean something. A husband might be something, and it has to disappear. Who knows? Where was it? We know less. Full of meg her wrathe beheert from Sith Frem. Oh dear. Full of, okay, very often, many times. Wrathe. Oh, we have viarf, which is different. Beheert from Sith. We have Sith. We had Vrexitha and Sithan. So apparently Sitha is like a way, as far as I can understand. So from Sith, like he went away. Friend must be my husband, like friend maybe, I don't know. Again, really mysterious, and how she uses different words for her husband, and Wine and Hlaford and man, friend. Again, we have lots of words like friend, friendship, leofan, loved. Phew, all my friends dwell in the dirt. I loved them while they lived, now guarding their graves. When I go forth alone in the darkness of daybreak under the oak tree outside this hollowed earth. Wow. Isn't it cool? A friend sind on erfan leofe lifiende. Again, we have the word life and love and friends and earth again. Interestingly, earthon. So dwell in the dirt. So apparently like earthon. Leofe, love. Again, as in line 26, fellow leofan. Lifiende, apparently while they lived in life, something like that. So love and life and friends, they're all in one phrase, in one context. They all support each other. Leerverdiad, guarding the graves, apparently. Thonne H on Uchtan. Ana gonge under actreo. So again, thona h on uchtan. We had uchtjare in the beginning line, like 7. So that's the same word ucht, which is darkness before daybreak, the darkness of daybreak in the translation here. That again, strange time. And it brings us back to the beginning. It connects space, because in the beginning she's in a different space. Now she's here, but it's still the same time of day. It's still uchtan. Ana gonge. Before something we had the word Anna connected with death, yeah, in line 23. Nemne death Anna, with Alice, death only and nothing else. So again, we have the word Anna, which is connected with the word death, connected with the word uchtan, which is itself kind of connected with death, because it's that time in between. Interesting. And then again, under actreo. Again, we repeat it. We had it under actreo before. Under actreo, again, 28, line 28. Maybe again it's the same rune, the rune of the oak tree. Yeond thas earth scraffe. And again we have that horrible word, earth scraffe. Where did we have it? Scraffe. Earth. We have lots of earth in here. Really. Yeah, we had it in line 28 too. So yeah, it's the same. Under actreo in tham earth screffe, and here it's the same. Under actreo yont thas earth scraffe. So we repeat it. We come back. We walk in circles, or maybe in spirals. Or she can't leave this place, so she comes to the same phrases, the same places, the same forces around her. That earth and outside this hollowed earth, says the translation, but really it's just the same word as before, the earthen cave. And we have under and outside at the same time, yeah, under and beyond. Again, it's like she's in two places at the same time, under and over. Yeah, and again, as for the meaning, what is it for the meaning? Could be an instruction of some sorts. Again. Could be just a story, how all her friends are dead and she's guarding their graves alone in that special time between darkness and light. But there's just too much symbols, too many symbols for it to be just a story, I would say, because you just can't miss it. Comments? Anything?
No.
So it really does sound like some sort of instruction in a riddle form. And then we have the day, which is another rune, the rune which is a happy rune. There I may sit a summer long day, where I can weep for my exiled path and my many miseries. Therefore I can never rest from these my mind's sorrowings, not from all these longings that seize me in my living. Right. Fair ich sitten mod, summer langne day, fair ich wepan mei, mine vrek sithas, for fela. forthon ech efrenemei there mot chiare minre irestam ne iales fes longa fes themec on fesum life biet. Again, we have lots of connections with what we had before. Ther ich situm, ther ich weapon, mot may. So again, we are repeating, we are coming back in these two lines. Sumor langne, that you can understand, summer long, day is day, weapon, I guess, weeping, situm, like sitting, may, again, we have day and may inside the lines. Mine vrexifas. Again, it's line 5. It's another time, once again, we're connecting this place where she is now with the place back there. So maybe she never really left the first place. Maybe all that is described here is a kind of an instruction, which she doesn't have to leave the place to get there, not physically, maybe. But somehow these two places are really connected. We can see it again, connecting, coming back to the beginning, connecting Vrexifas, which here is like exiled path, but in the beginning it was ragged ways. But it's again the same word. Minra Vrexifa, Minra Vrexifas. Erfothafella. My many miseries. Fella, again, Fella Leofan in line 26, which was something. What was it? Where was it? Line. Erfothafella and the Fella Leofan 26 as like dearly beloved, my dearly beloved. So, my many miseries, how can it be connected? What is Fella? I don't know. For thon ich efrene may, so I know may, I can never. There mo tiare. So again we have the word tiare, care, worry, which we had before. So worry connects with different things, same as yeomore connects with different things, sadness. So care, worry connects with different things too, like with urtiare in the beginning, and now we have motiare here, and we have breustiare a bit later. So care itself is changing, floating, and it's like an element which can attach itself to different positions and kind of contaminate them. It can attach itself to this pre-dawn darkness. It can attach itself to your spirit, modality spirit, mind sorrowings in this translation. Yeah, so kind of mind way of thinking, doing. Minre irestam neeles fes longa fes. Not from all these longings. Themecon fisum life bied. So again we have life. But they seize me, like in the line 32 somewhere. It's line 32 is Frinsindon Erfan. My friends are in earth, and it's the same here. Erfa, Fella, again connected with friends. It's earth or dirt connects with friends somehow. And here Biet, Förlåt mig, herr Wrafe begeerd. Again, it's connected here, which was something 30 before my friend seizes me with this doing. So begeerd, like he grabs me, holds me, gets me. Begeerd. So again, we connect the different parts of the spell, so they work properly. Phew. So again, now I may sit a summer long day. Now she's waiting. Now it's a day. Time is moving, but it's a summer long day. Now it's a day which seems to be never ending, where she can weep from exile path. So is she dead, a kind of a ghost? Is she alive and just sorry for her misfortunes? I can never rest from this my mind sorrowings, not from all these longings that seize me in my living. So she says she's alive, but maybe it's a lie. Maybe not really. Maybe she's not really alive. Because she never left the state which was in the beginning. Her mind sorrow, it's still with her. She never escaped it. Oh, then we have the next bit. Unless you have some comments?
No, the next bit is also interesting, about a young man.
Yeah, so the next bit is like, again, we change it. We change the narration. So the first part is like, okay, nice story. Then it turns to be more like an instruction. But it still talks about this woman and what's around her and her feelings. And then suddenly, really suddenly, she stops doing what she's been doing the whole poem, namely looking at herself. And it's like she's lifting her gaze, and she looks at us, and she says there's something impersonal, something like she wants to teach us, something that said as it should be true. A young man must always be sad at heart, hard in the thoughts inside. Also he must keep a happy bearing, but also a breast cares, suffering, never-ending grief. Do you agree with the statement? Is it a good statement?
Well, basically, you sort of make up appearances. You might be grieving inside. You produce a better-looking self to the outside world as a matter of being polite, as a matter of maintaining the distance, trying to not to cross the boundary.
Mm-hmm. So do you agree that a young man must always be sad at heart? Keeping a happy bearing. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not like, well, I don't feel like she's, she's talking to everyone, to every young man. It seems like she's talking to the man to whom she refers, to her husband.
Mm-hmm. She says a young man. She doesn't say you young man. She says any young man. Young man.
Well, there are lots of young men who are sad at heart.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, to many poets, as we've mentioned several times already in our sessions, to many poets, being sad is what makes them
happy.
Right. Well,
in some way, because if you write poems, then you're happy. If you write poems because you're sad, that makes you happy. So being sad makes you happy.
Oh, yeah.
Although in many cases it's only an excuse first they write something really like with a cold blood and determination and calculation, and then once they finish doing it just technically, they say, oh, you'll never believe how unhappy I am. Because really to write a poem, on one hand, obviously you need the magic. You can't just calculate it. You need the inspiration. You need some magic to make it alive. It's the same, again, alchemy. You can make a homunculus, but you need something to ignite the life in it. Otherwise it would be just a dead little thingy. So you do need the inspiration, but also it's a lot about knowing how to apply your skills. That can be done quite detached, because if you're agitated in your heart, how can you produce anything good? You'll be not seeing, you'll be blind to what you're doing. And you might do something and then you look at it and it needs lots of editing anyway, usually, mostly. So while some of it is true, definitely, but a lot of it is like a part of the profession, a part of the face that a poet is supposed to be wearing. Again, it's like a stage personality. It can be very different from the real person. Well, anyway, where were we? How did we get to that?
We were unhappy.
Yeah. So, a young man must always be set at heart, hard in the thoughts inside. Also, he must keep a happy bearing. So, sadness and happiness, but also cares, worries, and suffering, and never-ending grief. Because maybe what she means to say here is, if you have emotions, feelings, then they must be deep, or you'll be just a shallow person. If you're a real person, then your feelings must be real too. You must have happiness, which is real happiness, and you must have sadness, which is real sadness, to make you real. Maybe that's what she means. Or maybe it's another instruction. Who's to say? Who's to say? So what does it say in the original here? 42. Schille young mon, wessen je mormod, hert an je thocht. Swiltje habben shall, blithe je bero, ek thon breustjare, sin sorna je dreb. So again, always, and we had the word always in the beginning, in life 5, like always I suffered something, torment of my ways. And here, I suffer always, and you suffer always too. Shall, like shall, I guess. Again, you can see how apparently the same word is written in a different way in the next line. Shall and shall, and somewhere before. Young mon, easy, young man. And again, mon, a man, is what she calls her husband before. And when she says that man, mon, wessen, like was, must be, yeah. Yo, more, mod. So again, we have two words connecting differently. We had yo more, and we had then he more, mind, sorrow, and now we have again more, mod. So mod, again, modality, mind, spirit, saddened spirit. Yeah. Saddened spirit. And interestingly, before we well, no, not really. No, yes, yeah, we have here Yeomor, mind is sad, then the line after hie morne, like heart sadness, mind sadness, as one word, and hie, mind, heart, something, comes in first place before the sorrow, but hie sorrow comes in the first place. So that's again, like we said, it's like a race or a flow of sadness and happiness, friends, love, and unhappiness, betrayal, being lonely, excited. So that's the two opposing forces. So here we can see that sorrow, sadness grows so big, it comes in the first place. Before it was in the second place, it could be kind of maybe controlled, or but here it comes in the first place. It's bigger than spirit, mind, or attitude, something mod. Yeah, a mod again repeats a lot in this poem. How your modality, your way of life, your spirit navigates in this flow. And now it kind of surrenders to sadness. Hertan, je thought. Again, we have hertan, which is mind here. Where thoughts inside. But hertan is like heart. Yeah. So we now have words like here. We have word mod, and now we have hertan, and they all like mind, heart, mind, spirit, mind, reason, maybe something like that. All different aspects of a mind, of consciousness, really what they mean. Not mind, but consciousness. Swilche haben shell, have must haben shell, blithe. Jebero. So again we have the word blithe, like before. So where did we have the word blithe? When they were happy, but at the same time when they were talking about death, separating them. Yeah. Being cheerful, we often doubt that none but death could separate us. So that's the same word. The second time it reappears, and it's the same position, the first word in the line, namely. And the second word is also the same, blithe jebero, blithe jebero. Yeah? Being happy, something like that, I guess, because here it's like keeping cheery, and here it's like happy bearing. But it's again exactly the same words. Exactly the same words. So again we come back to the time of happiness, but which is already kind of contaminated by what happened later. So again, it's like double meaning, double feeling. Ek van brelstjare. Ek is like in addition to from that. In addition to that, to happiness, there must be breast, tjare, care. So again, we have care connecting with yet another element. Now with breast, again, heart, breast, bosom. We had it in line 26 and in line 40, where it was not 26, 20 something. Where was it? Where did we have care? Chiare. We just had it mottiare just before it, in line 40, and then we had it urtiare in line 6. Did we have it somewhere else? Maybe not really. Yeah, so anyway, these beats, care, worry, and more sadness, they connect themselves to different bits, and they kind of change them to to be sad. So Geormod, bröstjahre. They do it again and again here. So that last bit, the kind of final bit, which is, you may say, kind of a curse on him, is really, really dense. It's really quite loaded, quite solid in the sense of connections. Lots of words in that last bit connect with something from before in the poem. And that makes it really heavy, really loaded, because each connection feeds a little bit of power into it. It goes both ways, of course. So it feeds all these places back in the poem, but also all these different places in the poem feed that final bit. So it has a really heavy load of these meaning, energy, connection. That word sinsorgna, we had something like that before. Sinsorgna. Did you see the word sinsorgna somewhere before? Maybe it's just me. Maybe there's just too many strange words, so they look all the same to us. My bad. Oh, I can't see it just straight away. Maybe it's somewhere. Oh, we do have. Here it is. Herzeline. It's a bit different, Celine, but we have heard, and here we have heard, hörtan. Herzlinie. That is 19. Just before Hiejomorne, which is misfortunate, hard in fortune. Herzlinie. And here hard, hörtan. Okay. So yeah, that's a very happy wish to him. May he depend only upon himself for all his worldly pleasures. May he be stained with guilt far and wide throughout the lands of distant folk, so that my once friend should sit under the stony cliffs. So maybe she means that somebody else killed her husband, and now she is angry with that someone else, and because of him, her once friend should sit under the stony cliffs, meaning he's also dead. So maybe that's some third person who made her husband kill her, and then he went and killed him, and she's not happy about it, strangely. Maybe. Or maybe it means that it's her husband who killed her or did something bad with her, and now she talks about him in that kind of detached way, that my once friend should sit under the stony cliffs. So how do you read he should sit under the stony cliffs? Or that he sits there now because of that other person, or that he should as in future? How do you read it? Rhymed by stars, my weary minded alive, flood around by waters in his dreary hole. So if you read it that way, then he's still a good person, or she still loves him, and she still says that he's her friend and ally, even if misguided. And now he's dead because of that evil person who ruined just everything for them. Or maybe she means a future for her husband who did it. How do you say?
Well, let's hope that it's. Well, let's hope that it's not for her husband. It would be dreadful to see that that wish coming true.
So either way, her husband is in trouble. Either he is dead because of some evil person, she curses that person, or she wishes him a very horrible death because of what he's done. Either way, he's not very happy. Okay, where was it? See at himself from along, his worldwin, syfil with fares folklandnes, that min vrouwen zittet onder Stangliefe. Stormen begremet, wine wery mod, wetre beflowen, ondreorselle. Yeah, that's it. In his drear hole, dreorselle. So see at himself from ye long depend on himself. His world win. So again we have world. We had the word world before somewhere. Again another connection. World. Where was it? Where did we have world? World. Well, we did have it somewhere. Can you see it?
I'm just trying to do an automatic search on it. But no, it doesn't produce any results.
Here it is, line 13. That with jevidost in worldriche. In this, we are separated in this worldly reality. So again, she kind of reminds us about the separation. And then we have again the same word win, joy, win less, 33, line 33. Yeah, again the same win, ruin win, or joy win, world win, music, world win. And it's emotional because she repeats it. See at him, syfil with the far, feores folklandes. With the far, I guess it's wide and far, the same as we had old and new and far and near. Yeah, again the same kind of pattern. Feores. It's like fiores is like far. Fiores is like far. With the far fiores, I guess that's what should it be. Wide and far, I think. Folklandes. Folklandes is like nation, but you can see it's again two words: folk and landes. Folk like folk, people. Landes like lands. Yeah, we had lands before as well. Again, another connection. People, the place. In the beginning, we had the tribes leodum, tribe leader leod fruma, and just after the world reach, actually, on Mac Longede, Londstede. That land on Fissum Londstede. So he went to some different lands. Londes were again in the beginning. I wonder where he is in another land. And again it comes back here. It's all the energy, all the power is drawn to these conclusions, because it's supposed to be really powerful to be cast on that person, whoever he is. That means friend seated, that my friend sits. Again, the word friend repeats. Friends, friends, friend, friendes. Yeah. It's another important word in here. Sitteth under stone cliff. Again, she sits under the oak tree and he sits under a stone cliff. She is on the land, he is in the sea, but both are like under places, under worlds, dead. Stone and oak are close in the sense that they are strong. Two of them are really strong. We don't have any stone runes, do we? Maybe not. Could be. No, not really. We do have a stone rune actually, but it's like not a real one. It's some fake one.
Not a real one?
Well, it's something strange, because if you look at Wikipedia, it's a list of runes, and then there's a little bit more, and they say we don't know what it is, but we'll just show it to you anyway. Stone. No, I don't think it's a part of the real runes. No. No, I don't think it's a part of the real runes. It's just some invention, apparently. Or
so there's someone who...
Or what is it? The runes above were not included in the rune poem. Some of them appear in manuscripts. Well, they exist. They just appear in manuscripts, but they're like minor runes, so nobody knows anything much about them. But there is a rune which is stone. So she has a rune which is oak, and he has a rune which is a stone. But since nobody knows what it is, and nobody knows how to transliterate it or what it means, there isn't much to tell about it. Apparently. Okay. But anyway, it might be another secret rune, could be. Stanflife. Again, here we may just listen to the sound. Sitteth under Stanflife, storme behrimet, wine very mod, wetre beflowen. We just listen to the sounds and how they flow. That itself is really amazing. So here she uses the word wine again, in the sense of friend or husband or ally. Here it's my weary-minded ally, but really it's my once friend. My once friend should sit under the stormy cliffs. That's friend. And then my weary-minded ally is wine, this word which she used before when she said she was wineless. So it's not really like ally, but it's all those meanings, and friend and husband and ally. And again, wine, weary mod, very spirited, very minded, tired. So he's not really happy too. Wetre beflowen, and he is really connected with water while she is connected with earth. Very interesting, really very interesting. Why would it be so? Elements, maybe elements. And flowing, water flowing, and waves, something tossing. So water is like movement, and earth is like something different, apparently. Dreorsele. dreary hall. So again we have the word cele, which connects us to line 29, earth cele. I sit in this earthly hall. So again it says that their places are the same. They're different in detail, but in essence they are the same. She is under the oak, he is under the stone. She is in the earth hole, he is in the dreary hole. Yeah? So the connection is quite strong. Dreorsele. And again we see how different words connect. Here again we have like the word mod, like spirit, mind, and we connect it with wariness, very mod. Again we connect it. We have the word cele, now we have earth cele to dreorsele. And chlithe, maybe it's kind of connected with blithe too, in some funny way, because chlithe looks almost like blithe, but maybe not really. And then we have more music. Dreorsele, dreogeth se minwine, misle motiare. My former companion may know a great mind's sorrow. So again, the same word, wine, my lie, my companion, but it's again the same word, wine. Dreogev is like experience, and it's like line 26. Yeah. So again, it's another connection. Each word, or nearly each word here, is connected with something else before. Like line 26, where I shall far and near my beloved, bearing the feuding of my beloved. So that's the same word, dreogan, experience, endure, and that was about her. Now, dreogev, the same word, is about him. He may experience, experience that my friend, my beloved, Mitchle, I guess Mitchle is like mighty, I guess, a great mind sorrow, it says in the translation, so I guess Mitchle is like mighty. And another word, mod tiare. So now we have those two parts which were used to connect to different bits. Mod was connected to different bits, and tiare, ke, was connected to different bits, but now they connect to each other amazingly, and now we have mod tiare, mind worry, mind sorrow. So again, it's how the words, the meanings are turning, not only turning but connecting, and again really drawing power from all these connections. So what does it mean that he will know a great mind sorrow, or I will experience, I will see that he does it, that he is sorry in his mind, worried. But we have experience dreogev in this place, or dreogan before, connected with dread, dreorsele just before it. We put the two words one after another. We stress it out. It's not just experience, but it's dreadful. It's horrible. Yeah. And again, wine and win likran. Again, here we connect it really quite obviously. Wine like friend, husband, and win like joy and happiness. They come together here. Because the next line, Heye montoft win likran witch. Yeah, just next line. And which, I think which was somewhere before too, but there's like some small word. Remembering too often his joyful home. So which. Do you remember where we had which? Ah, I see it. Which winner less. So really, win the crown which and which winner less, which and winner together again. And that was 33, and 33 is all my friends dwell in the dirt. Somewhere. Synden den dimme dunna op her bidrebur dunnas brørum beweksne. So overgrown with thorns, shelters without joy. So which must be shelter? Here it says remembering his joyful home, but which is like if we take the previous word translation, it's not just home but like shelter. His joyful shelter. And again, which and win together, same as before, another connection. Comments?
Well, it is somehow, when we look at it, it is so huge, as Alexandra also remarked, that you have lots of meanings that you find relation to the structure of the poem. And of course, I was just wondering whether indeed it is something that is in the poem or something we read into the poem, including the last few lines here.
Well, if we can read it, then it is there. If we can back it up, we're not just pulling it out of the blue, out of the thin air, but if we can back it up with something from the text itself, then it is there, one way or another. Yeah, because I can't say, for instance, that hey, Yemon oft, that Yemon is connected with, let's say, demon because it looks the same, because we have no reference to any demons or things in here, no word to connect with it. That would be reading into it. But if we look at the connections and how the words are placed, like if we say that Dreorsele is just next to Dreoged, then it means the two words are connected, because Dreor and Dreoged obviously are very similar. Then we can draw the conclusion that it's not just experience, but it's a dreadful experience, because all the words are together. That's the difference. And if we just have one word like win, and we say, well, win also happens to be a rune, it doesn't matter much, because it can be just a word, because joy is a common word. It's not a rare word. But if we have Ectrail, oak tree, and winner next to each other, and thorns, and all three are and stone, and all of them are connected in the poem really tightly, and all of them are runes, then we may kind of consider the possibility that it might be referring to the runes. At the same time, obviously we say, well, we don't really know that much to be sure, but we can play with it. And maybe somebody who is more experienced can have a closer look at it, and maybe discover something interesting, maybe in some completely different way, because we don't have the tools to do it, we don't have the skill to do it. Yeah, but maybe somebody who does, maybe they hear it and they get interested and they go and check it, and maybe they find something completely new and different, but based on what we just found. Precisely because we are so stupid, because we don't know the next thing about how to read it properly, then we may see some interesting connections, because we wouldn't know how to look, so we would be kind of inventing our own ways of looking at it. And while it might be just nothing, it might also be something interesting, and in any way, it's interesting for us. It makes your mind work, it makes your consciousness dance, really. Then you may have your own new ideas. Whether this one is true or not true, accurate or not accurate, who cares? We are not doing an academic research, and we are not going to write to some magazine, to some journal and say, oh, we've just made the discovery of the century that Wife's Lament is about runes. And they say, oh, we've known that for centuries. Yeah, we don't care. We're just trying to dance with it, to see what it tells us and to see where it can lead us personally. As long as we can back it up by something in the text itself. Phew, wow, we just got to the last line. Amazing. Woe be to that one who must wait for the beloved longing. So that's a really mysterious ending. So my former companion may know a great mind's sorrow, remembering too often his joyful home. What are her emotions? Is she sorry about it, or is she wishing it so that he would suffer? And the last line, woe be to that one who must wait for the beloved with longing. Is it a fact, like if you're waiting for your love and you're longing, then you'll be unhappy? Or is she saying, woe to you, oh, you're stupid if you do it, don't do that. Wabi Thomthesiel of Langothe Leofes Abidan. Wa is like woe, Biv apparently like be. Thomthesiel, again, on the one who must shall. Langothe of longing, maybe. Leofes, again the same word Leofes, beloved, which we had in lines like 30 something 4 and 26. Leofen Lifgende, fellow Leofan, beloved, Abidan. Abidan, I don't know, sounds like abandoned, but not really, because there's an, or abide, apparently waiting, with longing for the love, beloved, waiting, something like that. So, in fact, it's a nice ending, because if that's a race, then Leofes is the word which wins the race. Leofes and not Yeomor, and not Chiare, but Leofes. So love is what we are left with as we leave the poem. Yeah. So she hates him and she loves him, and it all sweeps through the poem, blossoming, growing, competing, but in the end she loves him, because the last word of those that were in the race is Leofes, beloved. So what do you think? Do you think she says that you're stupid if you're waiting for your beloved and you believe that they will be back to you? Or is she saying that if you wait for your love, then you are unhappy?
Well, version 1 seems preferable to me. Although I probably wouldn't be able to back it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's just probably my expectation, something that you would expect a poet to say.
I'll never expect a poet to say anything, because if the poet says what you expect him to say, then it's not interesting, it's not a poem. Maybe it is. Phew, now that was a good poem. So I really enjoy the flow and the connections and the sounds and the meanings, like win and win, and how we have the words that repeat, love and friend, and heart, spirit, repeating, but at the same time we have words like care, worry, sadness, also repeating. And they do kind of sweep through the poem in a mighty wave, and all these strange connections. I'm sure there's much more than we just discovered, much more. But if you have any more comments, Alexandra?
Do with everything you said.
Well, in that case, we can just finish at long last.